To make a quick video here of my little tech center set up in my office and show you some of the old game systems I have. And got a Orion telescope there. Enjoy using that. Little drone I've been messing around with here. That's pretty fun. But my first computer here that I was able to get on eBay, I was able to purchase it as new old stock. So the computer was brand new. It's the Texas Instrument 99 4A. Really like this machine. I had one when I was a kid. It was, I think, my second computer I had. I had a Sinclair ZX80 that I had at first that somebody had given me, but then my parents bought the Texas Instrument years ago and really got into that little computer. So it was nice to find a brand new one, unopened in the box. Works really well. Got a Flash ROM 99 card there picked up. And a really great little device to load software, games, all the cartridge ROMs, different things off a micro SD card there. And also went out and bought some composite video cables so I could hook these computers up to these flat screen TVs. That way you get a much better picture and you can adjust color, contrast, things of that nature. This computer also came with about eight game cartridges, the speech synthesizer, and the classic joysticks. A lot of guys didn't like those because of the spongy feel, but you take care of them, they actually work okay. But you can also build the adapters so you can use Atari joysticks with them if you want. I also picked up this little nice board here recently, the 32K memory expander that goes right on the side, and you can either run off power off the computer itself, or I actually have it hooked up with the external power cable there, so it makes it a little bit more stable. Was able to pick up this expansion box, the PEB. This is brand new also, some new old stock. Just came with the box, though. Nothing else came with it, so that was kind of a bummer. And the price was right, though, so ended up getting a USB stick floppy emulator. I haven't really been able to get that to work yet, but it is hooked up right now with a floppy disk controller card in there. Picked up a couple 32K memory cards. Those were a little expensive off eBay. I was a little bit disappointed because neither of them ended up working, so they kind of advertised them that they were, but boy, it's sometimes a risk when you buy on eBay. But I'm going to work on maybe getting those fixed, and then I'll probably just resell those. Also was able to find, move this out of the way here, a official Texas Instrument program cassette recorder loader for it. So I picked that up pretty reasonable, and that works really well. Of course, I have a Raspberry Pi 3. Any retro gamer knows that that's really an important little computer to have. So I'm running Emulation Station. I have lots of game systems on there, everything from the Apple IIe, Atari 5200, 2600, mostly Nintendo NESs, Super NESs, Coleco, just all those, a couple of Linux operating systems I'm running on that. So I don't have that hooked up right now to be able to show it. But then this is my Commodore 64. Picked this up on eBay, got a really great deal on it. This one was in really good condition. All the keys work really nice. It was very clean on the outside. Had some graphics issues with it when I first plugged it in. A lot of distortion. So I went in, cleaned it up, and pressed on all the computer chips inside and got them nice and tight. It's a pretty common thing with these older computers, especially on the Commodore stuff, that they get loose. And a lot of times that's all you need to do. And sure enough, worked out really well. And running the Iridium game on there right now just to show that it's working, and so that's a fun little game. I got the cassette loader came with it, and I've got a little car cassette adapter in there. That's how I get tap file programs sent to the computer, and I'm just using a little Android tablet with the Tap Dancer program to load all that software. A lot of the tap files work just fine, other ones don't. So what I've been using is a Commodore 64 emulator on Windows 10 on a computer to test them and kind of see what works, what doesn't, and then trial and error over here on the actual machine. Got a couple floppy drives. The top one here, the newer model for the Commodore, that one works real well. Was able to pick up some floppy disks online, pretty reasonably priced. I've got one of the traditional 1541s. Haven't been able to get this one working too well as far as that. And then, of course, I've got my Surface Pro 3 here. This has been a really great little computer, and I've been real impressed with this device. I didn't think it would be real powerful for gaming and things of that nature, but boy, it does a great job with that Intel i5 chip in it. You can even run Microsoft Flight Simulator 10 at full settings, and it's very, very smooth. Of course, I've got DOSBox running on it right now, so there's an old Star Trek game, EGA Trek. That was kind of a fun one. There's several variants of that. And then I've got some external drives hooked up for extra memory and a DVD burner. Actually, that's a Blu-ray burner and all that. Little hub for it. And then I've got my Android tablet here, and it's running a Super NES emulator. That does a really good job of playing old games, and really the graphics on it are outstandingly good. And then I've got some Bluetooth controllers there that I use, a couple of those. Great way to play classic arcade games. This little device is a TRS-80 pocket computer from Radio Shack. Can't find these much around anymore. However, this was an original one that I bought brand new, and all these years later, it still actually works really well. Old technology, but it's fun to play around with once in a while. Just kind of reminds me of the past there. Of course, it wouldn't be complete as far as without VR headset. Like to use that every now and then. That's with the newer VR games and stuff that are coming out and experiences you can do just using even a cell phone. It's a fun way to experience VR, so have one of those. But anyways, this is pretty much my little retro tech center here. Can play a lot of the old and new games. You even got an Xbox One S up there for playing the new stuff, of course. That's a must-have. But it's pretty much all I have. I hope you enjoyed the video.